record. All right, cool. So, we had assignments. You guys had assignments. So, I think. How'd it go?
So I got my video done. I still need to do one more to get the bridge video because it was glaring too bad. And yeah, had a couple conversations, asked a couple people who they knew. Didn't get any response for that.
How'd that go?
Nothing.
Did the world end?
It didn't end.
You're still alive?
I am.
Oh, holy shit!
I know. It's kind of crazy. You know, the world doesn't end when I ask questions.
And they said no, and you're still here.
I'm still here.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's just so I played with that. I've been reaching out to groups a little bit more, like finding groups that are actually in the realm of what I want to do, kind of thing. I did get Coach's Corner. I introduced myself, but it was not a day that you could promo. So it wasn't a day. They have like a set day to do certain things. So
Offer Friday.
Yeah. So there's a difference, right? And that's actually a key. And I think Chris does this really well, and I've gotten even better. Is how to make a post where you're covertly attracting people to you without actually promoting anything.
Yes, you kind of promote through content. I think that's what I see you do a lot, is promoting through content, but it's not like, hey, come buy from me. It's just like, this is what I know, and if you need help, I can help you.
Yeah, it's dropping credibility pieces. And so there's like a couple of different ways of doing this, right? So maybe we can kind of go back and forth on that, Chris, and kind of talk about that. And, one of the things that I think I'm really good at, and I'll go with that, is asking questions that will pull out the right people into the group. And it's not necessarily it's to really kind of when you're new, the newer you are, the less you can get away with, and the more that they know who you are and they like you and the admins are cool with it, the more you can kind of get away. Like Chris kind of gets away with murder in like no, dude, like how many of those groups let anybody else post videos in them?
I mean, for me, what I started doing is like I said, not only do I have the schedule, but with my content, I purposely make content with no call to action. And then when I post it in different areas, I'll add the call to action in the text. So like I'll post the same video from a group on Instagram TV, and then it's just in like the caption area, I'll say, oh, send me a DM if you want to learn this or that. But when you post content like that in the groups that's really educational, I think I said this before, keep it like 3 steps to do this or 5 reasons you should do that, always around your area of expertise. So Jeff, for you to be like 3 reasons why you need a system in your business, or 5 steps to save time with this, those things right there will catch a lot of attention. And to not get kicked out, just don't put a call to action, and at the end, always add that question. Like Chad said, like the question should be, are you using systems in your business? Like, or if it's about emails, what email server are you using? If it's about, because they could hate Aweber and want to move from that. They could hate MailChimp and want to move from that. So when you ask those questions, it's like, I always think about Perry Marshall's Shotgun Marketing. It's like, when you ask those questions, it gets that person that's like, man, I do have an issue with my email marketing. I want to change that. Your content, it should get them to like raise their hand, like, oh yes, it's me. I have that problem. That's what I always think about when I create content.
You interviewed him, right?
Yeah. It was really good. I'm actually having him back on for a master class pretty soon too over the summer. That's gonna be good.
Awesome.
Get him on our podcast. I'd love to. Anyways, all right. So let's talk about. But the first part of it is you have like did you go through that copywriting course, Jeff, or even check it out that I posted?
I have not. No.
Dude, I think that's where you really need to work on your stuff, right? because if you can become a good copywriter, everything is going to get better.
Okay.
Communication is a form of communicating.
Yeah, exactly. And just, so what you have to think of is everything is a hook and questions, hooks and questions. And really a question is a hook. So how do you, like, really the focus is about grabbing attention. So something you need to say is going to grab your perfect person's like attention in a way that's going to suck them into your post. And the other thing you need to focus on is white space, right? I see people do these posts and they're literally like a encyclopedia. And they're like, nobody fucking got time for that. Nobody has time. And I'm just trying to, and you know what, maybe instead of me like writing one out, maybe the better thing would be is to actually go and find posts.
Oh yeah, let's go into some group and see those long, like 3-hour reads.
Totally.
But now there's nothing wrong with 3-hour reads if you space them right.
Yeah.
People will actually go.
That's true. That's true.
Well, but I write a lot of long posts.
So let's look at like Holly's, right? So
Chad would probably even space this out more.
I would.
And I don't, because I like to attract intelligent people. And there's still enough spacing for them where it's not gonna like kill them.
But you notice that the first sentence is short and pithy, and it's gonna catch somebody and pull them into that, and like go, well, why did she cry today, right? And then it pulls them through, and then like dots are very important. It like, and I can't remember what the thing was. Is it like it brings people through the thing.
It's like there's more. What is there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a pause.
And then like using other things. So I ask a lot of questions in my copy. Holly uses a lot of like statements that like grabs people and uses questions every once in a while. So I
do a lot of emotion.
Emotional
stuff.
Totally. And it just gets different effects. And like I'm not as emotional, but
Chad does very well with short questions.
Yes, right. And this one did okay, right? Who has a large following and is an expert that doesn't have coaching or a course yet. And so, and the other thing you got to realize, and then this is something I do a lot, is as soon as you get, and this is something that I learned from I can't remember where, but like basically if somebody likes your post, you want to engage back in the post. Facebook wants to see that you're engaging back, even if and one of the persons that I see do this a lot, they'll get like 100 comments on each post. What they specifically do, and you could do this too if you want, is as soon as you see somebody like it, they'll go and tag them in the post and thank them for engaging. And it's not something I haven't really added much to, but it can work really, really well. But nobody would have or he wouldn't have saw this post if I wouldn't have come back and engaged in. And that's another thing is like replying back to this. This is the one thing you want to realize. If you put a good post out there, you don't want to like go take a shower. You want to be like on it for a little bit and like engaging back.
Unless you're me, and then it just works.
Somehow.
Because I'm amazing.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's my vibes.
Yeah,
energy is everything.
We're giving like different ways of doing.
Can we go on both people? I guess
I'm getting a lot of your stuff. So, so she uses a question and quotes. Quotes are big too.
But you see the header, the very first thing that I write in all of them, it always grabs attention.
Yeah.
I do that on purpose. Like if I can get the first sentence to like be, dang. Right, the other day someone asked me, what was the moment you knew you had to heal from the hustle and grind? Guess what the whole post is about?
Right.
Right. And it does ask questions and get emotion. So ultimately in your copy, you want to, even if you're not an emotional person, which I know that you are very in touch with your emotions, you want to make people like feel somehow, like not necessarily like feel sad or feel just, even if it's funny, even if it's like touching, inspiring, motivating, like they're feeling something, then you get a lot better relatability with people and a lot better trust with people. And you can do that.
I think you, if you guys are trying to show us the screen, you aren't sharing the screen right now.
Oh, well, that's a thing.
I guess you guys want to be included in the party. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, just scrolling through my Facebook, like, with nobody seeing anything is like, okay, so.
The funny thing I said, everything you were talking about, I already saw those.
Good. So you saw the, yeah.
Yeah, good. So, yeah, quotes and questions. You know, I do more engaging on, like, Holly posts a lot of stuff for the podcast every day, and she's really good about pulling people into, like, emotional story. And where I'm better at doing longer or shorter things. And controversial can be really good. I'm just trying to think of where some of my best stuff is.
And not to sound too wooey, but whatever, it's who I am. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, it just does. It's a total energy thing. People ask me, like, well, how do you do all that? I don't know. I'm just me.
Yes.
And I'm always working on my vibrations.
So here, stop filming courses you think people want. Do a beta launch, pre-sell your course, then build it. It's basically, it's taking a stand on something that I believe in, something we teach here, obviously. And, like, obviously these people, you know, connected with that in one way or the other. And so what this did was, it is 151 posts, but there's no call to action. There's no nothing, but there's tons of people. If you look in here, they're like, well, how do I do that?
Exactly. Yes. That's genius.
You know, and then the other thing I do, I think I do better, is taking these short ones, and then if I have a longer thing to talk about on it, I'll spread it into the actual comments. So then what it'll allow for, and so see, this got 7 likes, and then a bunch of people read this. So this hooked them and goes, well, why not? Well, how do you do that? And then they read the comments and they're like, oh, wow, okay. And so they got that, right? And so you can see there's just tons of on here, and tons of people. This guy, I think he reached out and was talking to him. Frank, talking to Frank. Bunch of people, anyways. But it creates that credibility, and then now I could come back here and do whatever, and do a different post, and people already see me as like a really strong.
He's got a coffee cup next to his name. He's
Yes.
a conversation starter.
Conversation starter.
Yeah, they have a lot of those little badges. I've gotten that one. I've gotten like Rising Star. It's just a ton of them. Those are pretty dope.
Yeah, they have little pictures.
I like the new. That's one of the things that they're doing. They're really working on groups.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
They
I
did
just-
a lot of updates on groups where the app, there's a new, I don't know if you guys have the updated app yet. I think it's slowly rolling out, where it's more concentrated on groups and events. And they also did an update where the owner of the group, whenever they post, then the people of their group will get a notification, like a push notification on their phone. So.
Yeah, and the other thing that Chris, I think I learned from Chris or somebody, or it might have been Andrew Cruzy, was if you edify the group owner, it's super helpful, because you can get away with more stuff if you edify the group owner, in the sense that, like, if you say, you know, if you're giving like a testimonial or talking about yourself, and you say, it helps obviously if you've been there a little bit, because, you know, you obviously everyone need to learn from them or whatever. Go through their stuff. Find one thing that you learn from. Yeah, he talked about that. So if you go through one of these big groups, which, you know, you know, I spend a lot of time.
Oh, my stuff. Go ahead. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . . 。 . 。 . . . 。 . . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 So
That's why having a podcast is dope, because you can just interview the group leaders that fit your market. It's just super easy like that. It kind of will roll together in itself.
Yeah.
How am I? Okay, suggestions for me. No, I don't need that.
Like, quit working your butt off.
Your groups. See more. There we go. All right. We build tribes. This group. Where is? What's her name's group?
Coaches.
Vanessa.
Coaches, consultants, and
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, just type in coaches. And coaches. There it is. Change makers and stuff like that. Spotlight.
Yeah, there we go. So, you can see. So this is one of the things I did. I didn't get a ton, but this gave us a bunch of credibility of, we're going to be interviewing the group leader, Vanessa Talbot. And so, I basically posted that we are top 200 in Australia in business. Actually, the one that I did, you took her picture. I don't see that one for some reason, but I took her actual picture and posted it and said, I'm so happy that we get to interview Vanessa, and who else was an expert that would want to be on the podcast. And so Chris is talking about branding expert, calling them out specifically. You had 26 posts there.
It was way too many. It got hectic, man. Ooh, it got out of hand.
You got a bunch of people. You got to get back to some of these people.
Well, a lot of them were sending me messages too. So a lot of them just
you wanna even if you just reply a GIF like check your like hey, it'll re-up it in the group.
Yeah, it's like your post is brand new again when you do that.
Exactly. I went back and found other ones, so I'd come back here. I'll do it right now, and I'll get a whole bunch of people. Oh yeah, this was the one I was talking about. Yeah, so 41 comments on this one. That's not the one I want. I want the one talking about Chris. So this one achieved a bunch of things, obviously. 216 comments. Edified Chris. I'm sure he got a bunch of people reaching out to him from that. But like if I go, here, I'll just respond to this, but what would you like to speak on? And then I'll drop a GIF too.
Nah.
Oh man, that would have been hilarious. Oh.
It'd have been funnier to like drop it on the response of this person. But yes. So anyways, I didn't respond to it. So I got some more people I need to respond to. So the more you respond to, the more it gets pushed back in. So if you take a day or two, this will get pumped back up into the feed, and now a bunch of new people will go and engage on it. So that's good. I think, that's another thing I did is as soon as you find one that works really well, so that course creation one, I believe, I'm just looking to see what else has worked in this group. See, some stuff works really well and some stuff does not.
I think the main thing is when you give people advice and like real insight on what you know. Like if I tell somebody, oh, you need at least 50 episodes before a sponsor will take your podcast serious. They're, oh man, really? What else do you know? Then they have a ton of other questions. So like giving that real insight is really good.
It's actually funny you just said that. Chad talked to Ray Higdon and he said as soon as you have 50 episodes, sure thing, get a hold of me. That's Ray Higdon. So I'm like, okay, so we'll have 50 episodes by like a week.
What's funny, we're going to be interviewing his mentor. He's
yeah. We have an interview scheduled with Ray Higdon's mentor and coach.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what is your hook for attracting your perfect, authentic client? And then just getting people. Did I even respond to any of these? Oh, no. Jeez. Obviously, I wasn't on it that day. But look I had 36 without engaging with anybody.
People love talking about themselves, man.
Yeah, they do.
But then you can be like,
and
wow,
that's
really
you can
cool.
ask them, like, get them to talk about themselves.
Yep.
Well, you can get them to talk about themselves, they're going to be talking all day long.
Yep. And this is this is a good one. So creating a new webinar, which headline do you like most? And so I did that. Oh, I did a conversation. Okay, got it. So I did this one. Wow, when was that? March 21st. Wow, that was a year ago. Anyway, so got a bunch of people engaged in that one. Yeah, so Vanessa actually engaged. That's cool. But yeah, so, and what this does is they're like, wow, they do this? like I need to reach out to them. I need that. Ooh, this is a good one. Who's using or familiar with chatbots to onboard clients? GIFs are awesome. But yeah, so
maybe that's the comment, because the new Marketing Hub has amazing chatbots, and maybe that's something it'd be interesting to ask. What's your thoughts on chatbots?
Yeah. Well, I literally, I think a good question for you is like, what do you what do you do, or like, what do you use to keep track of your clients? Yeah. Like, even just that, like, what do you do to like keep track of your clients? And like, some people are gonna like, well, I write them all. I got a notebook. Like, have you ever thought about using like a CRM? Like, well, no. Like, oh, okay, well, reach out to me and maybe we can chat about, what possibilities. I really am telling you, like, if you would have took me a year or two ago, I don't even know what the fuck a CRM is. And so it's just, you got to get down to the problem level of where they're at and kind of solve a problem that they have. Like, because it's really, I think that's another thing is another good question for you would be like, who has so many clients that they're kind of maxed out, or they can't handle any more, like their business isn't like, can't handle any more clients or near like that ability. Okay. Or who's like maxed out on, like you couldn't handle any more on your plate. Something like that. Is that helpful, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm trying to phrase that. Who has so many clients that they are maxed out?
Who can't handle any more clients? And then the other thing is connecting with other people that are kind of on the both sides. You're kind of, what you do is connect the accountants with the marketing people. So essentially you could be the middle person for either of those, in the sense of like, if there's somebody that's just like you could go to the ClickFunnels group and go, who like does like marketing for businesses, but like has no clue about the back end systems and CRM, like that stuff. or has no interest in any of that stuff.
Okay.
Again, I think if you you frame yourself as the connector between the marketing and sales, marketing, sales, like that area, to the accountant, and like bridge that gap, because there's like a gap there. Ooh, you could be the accountant whisperer for marketers. Because they don't know how to communicate with their accountant.
3 steps to make it easier to talk to your accountant. Got it.
Oh my God. Yeah. So if you could really frame yourself as the bridge. Helpful?
It is.
Cool.
I have notes.
Perfect.
I wrote notes.
Chris, where you at?
Today is the last day of the challenge. I'm excited. People are excited in the group. And I'll be covering the sponsorships part. I'll be going in depth on that. So, people are looking forward to learning about that. And my mailing list has grown by about maybe 30 something over the past week. But again, it's like I like my mailing list being like really small like that because it's really engaged people. Yeah. It's not just a lot of wishy-washy people. So one of the people actually, I had a funny conversation Tuesday right after we finished coaching. Some guy messaged me and he was like, hey, I know you do podcasting. I need you to do this. And he wanted me to help him set up a trailer for his show, or not even a full show, just like take one episode and basically use one audio clip and set it up to where he can start growing his mailing list from it. So like when people want to work with him, they send them straight to that episode first. It's kind of like a lead magnet or whatever, I guess. And I told him, like, okay, if you want me to do that on short notice, like before, he wanted me to do it like today. And I'm like, okay, if you want me to do that by Friday, then that's going to be like at least $500. And he was like, really, man, just for that? I'm like, yeah, like you messaged me out of nowhere. You kind of are really invading my personal time. And you want me to show my not only do you want me to show my expertise, you want me to do something for you. 500 is a massive discount. And he was like, all right, man, well, I'll just find somebody else, whatever. And I saw him post today. He's just kind of frustrated. He couldn't find anybody to help him. And I think that's something I want to cover on the show pretty soon, is just like the importance of respecting your time as an entrepreneur, because as soon as you start respecting your time more, then other people have to respect it too. Like when you tell them, no, this isn't happening, yeah, they can be pissed off. But like now what was really funny is he actually sent a request to join the group to get in the podcast challenge. And it's like, I mean, like, if you don't want to pay for that and that's all you want, you getting in the group to take the challenge won't really help you at all. So I'm gonna go back and have a conversation with him, just to see like what he really needs and what he's willing to pay for. But I just thought that was really interesting. But it gave me an idea of just like another little quick money thing I could do, is just, help people set things up with their podcast so they can really build their mailing list from it. Like that could be like almost like a mini course, like the $100 Instagram course you guys have. That would be like my $100 thing. Like, here, 5 steps to make your podcast a lead magnet or whatever. But the group is going really good. Tomorrow I'm ready to stack things, well, not stack things up, but really the goal tomorrow is to explain the value of the programs. Just very basically, I won't be explaining too much in the live video. But I'll be going.
Don't talk about the programs yet. This is what you want to do. You're You're building the value of you.
Yeah. I remember you saying like, I want to explain the value of what it's like to have a conversation with me one-on-one. Like, because everybody has waited to get that. I've got a ton of questions. People are still asking questions about this and that. So explaining the money part today is going to be really useful. That's going to get a lot more people over the hump. Just opening their mind up to making money podcasting. That's going to be useful.
Something you could really do is, so they have all these questions, and if they have these, like, the questions are a lot of times connected to limiting beliefs. So if you write down those questions and then like go through them on tomorrow, it's gonna knock everybody down on like on wanting to work with you.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because a couple people, well, some people just asked about sponsorships, which I'm covering today. So I didn't want to answer that yet. I'm like, I'll answer that on live. But some of the other questions have been more detailed, and it's really good because they asked them on like a post. And some of them I have answered in written form in like comments, but I still think I could take like 3 or 5 of them and answer them. Then say, okay, well, if you got value from this, just imagine what you could get in a 30-minute session. Like, imagine what you'll get from a full program and, from full coaching with me. Just imagine what that would do for your business. So I don't plan on telling a price or anything. No.
Yeah. So just actually really it's more about the result that they could, okay. So what you want to do is frame yourself as a door, right? You're adorable. I did it too. That's good. But no, you're a door, right? And so you're framing yourself as like, okay, they want to be here. So you're thinking, they're like, I want to be a top 200 podcast, and I have sponsors, and I'm getting all these amazing guests. And it's like all the results and benefits, right, that you've been laying out in this whole thing, right, is like they're over here. Well, great. Could you do that from this challenge? Yeah. You'd have a lot of like weaving, and like you got to dodge a lot of stuff, and you got a lot of like really like, wouldn't you guys just rather have a blueprint, a step-by-step, like from you're here, like, and you're wanting to go over here, like, wouldn't you rather just have that? That's what we can get on this call. You just schedule a call, we jump on, and we see if it's a good fit for us to work together, for me to help you to get over here, right? To see if I'm a good door for you.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that part will work because, like I said, so many people have the same types of questions, so I really want to take the time to answer those same questions I've been asked over and over again. And the unit thing is going really well. And I planned on going live again today, just on my page, not in the group, but on my page, to kind of, get a few more people in, kind of like last minute. But I like that idea of kind of framing myself as like the help there. I explained it to one guy as like you could go and run Facebook ads by yourself, but you'll probably waste a lot of money, and after you waste a lot of money, it's going to take you a lot of time as well before you actually see results. So it's like with your podcast, you're going to put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, and even some money in months and months and months, and you won't see any results if you do this on your own. But if you work with me, I can show you how to get results instantly. So That's kind of like the selling point. The comparison is like, if you wouldn't run Facebook ads by yourself, don't start a podcast by yourself, because you don't have to, right? Because a lot of people are wasting 9 months, a year on a show, and then they quit because they didn't get any results from it. It didn't impact their business.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As I can tell, we've had our podcast for 2 weeks or something like that. And it's
3 weeks, maybe.
A huge impact on our business.
Yeah, so much. Our business isn't even the same. Like, it's another world. The amount, just conversations we're having. We talked to a healer today that he needs help, like organizing and structuring, and he wants to launch coaching and all this stuff. And
I get so exciid when we attract like healers and
Dude, this-
spiritual.
this next
like,
run
stuff.
is gonna be like off the chart. Like this next group that where Hillary and like
I needed that little, like that, what you guys just said, that little 30 seconds. That was the perfect video to close everybody.
Well, we're recording this, so
That was perfect.
we can give you this video. You can chop it up. What?
Oh yeah, definitely. I will post that like literally today, because that's the main thing I explain to people is
Here I'm all like this. Can we do this again? Wait a minute.
But that's the main thing I explain to people is when you start a show, like, yeah, you can make money from it, but the main thing you get is the connections with the right people in your industry, whether they want to work with you and learn from you, or the people that are kind of above and ahead of you, you can learn from them by interviewing them. So
Yeah.
it's really a two-way street with the interviews.
I mean, we're talking to people that are. I mean, the one guy did like $10 million in
Yeah.
e-com, and now he's running an outsourcing business.
Yeah, actually, that might be someone for Jeff too to get in contact with. And Ray Higdon's, we're looking at the people that he's working with and he's coaching.
Yeah, it's like Damon John. He's like consulting with Damon John and
Ray Higdon, and I'm like, jeez. And here are his prices. He charges like $600 for an hour of his time, and we're on the phone with him for like an hour just in a pre-screen. I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
That's the power of having a podcast, man. You get past that $600 barrier. And if instead of saying, hey, I'm going to pick your brain, just set up that meeting. Pre-screen is a meeting. Just, I'm going to learn from you. And then the interview, I can have my own list of questions.
We were screening him.
We screened him. We're like, you got to fill into our application and everything. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, we didn't.
And then he was like, well, you guys want to just hop on the phone now? And we're like, we don't just get on the phone.
That is insane.
Yeah, he's like trying to speed up the process. And I'm like, because he wanted us to be on his show too. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Let me check it out.
Yeah, he has a testimonial from Grant Cardone that said if it wasn't for Ken Halls, then Ken Wells,
yeah,
then I would not be where I am today in my business. Like from Grant Cardone. So it was crazy.
And you're telling them, no, wait,
I don't know if we can really jump on
I
right
have
now.
a boundary. I need 24 hours advance if I'm going to talk to you on the phone.
And he does everything on Skype, and we send him our Zoom link. We're like, yeah, we're doing it this way.
Yeah. He typically doesn't answer questions or applications or anything.
Oh, he
answers
doesn't
all the questions.
Yes. Oh, that was the best. He's like somebody who's like this big influencer, right? That had like, I don't know, he said like this huge following. He's like you got to fill out this before
15,000.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, you got to fill out this application before you can be on my podcast. He's like, I don't do that. But he filled out ours.
Yes, he did. And he ended up deleting people off of his friends list to add us in. Yep. So
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's perfect. That little 2 minutes right there, that's a video, man. Like that right there is a video. So I think right now, just from like, I don't know, the vibe I'm getting from people that are in the group, if I were to present it like through just like a regular post, like, hey, go and buy this, I would say I would get probably 5.
Yeah.
Probably 5 right now.
1,500?
Yeah, something like that. I feel comfortable around 5, maybe 6, but like it's some people that like every day they're in there, they're active, they're engaging and all that. Like,
all right. So so are you going to be pitching? I know we talked about this like for a minute. But are you pitching coaching and then downselling them to the course, or how are you doing it?
Yeah, I'm gonna. So the strategy is to pitch coaching. I'll pitch the 6 weeks coaching, and that one will be $1,500. And then the downsell will be to the $1,000 course.
No, $1,500 is not coaching. What the fuck? No, you said like 6,000, 5,000, 6,000 for coaching.
Oh yeah. For the I'm always getting mixed up. So yeah, the coaching, the one-on-one stuff, the private, that'll be the $5,000 for everything. That one will be 8 weeks. But the course, I get them confused because I'm used to calling the Zoom instruction, the course, the live course. I'm used to calling that coaching, but that course will be the one that's 1,500. And if they just want video content, then they can just pay 1,000.
Are you going to like a phone application? Like,
yeah, I'm doing only phone. I don't want to post any links. Like, if you want the link, then it'll have to be through Zoom while we're on the phone. Like, that's it. I'm not messaging anybody the link.
okay, well,
Because I don't want
as
them.
far as the program, I mean, are you pitching like the coach, like wouldn't do any prices or anything until you're on the phone?
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, really what you need is have them book a call. So if you want to be on, man, I'm loving using Calendarly in the sense of them go book the call, and then they're like in the process of booking the call, and then boom, after they've picked their time, then now they have to fill out an application. Because it's like already sucked them into.
They already have the commitment.
Yeah, they've already got
it's
the micro commitment. They're like, I fucking already booked it. I'll fill out this application. It's so cool. So that's something I would take on is
the application. Like, so after almost the confirmation page is the application page.
Yeah. So when you go to, you use Calendarly or?
Yeah, I use it.
So with Calendarly, it's one second. Let me get it up. You set up your questions. In here, we have so many things booked. It's crazy. All right, so we got okay, so I'm trying to think how to do this. All right, so yeah, podcast interview. I want the actual discovery. I want the pre-screening. Pre-screening. All right, anyways. All right, so you go here and you edit it, and then you hit invitee questions. And so so this is the one that we just have for after they've been approved through the pre-screening one. And it basically says, what is your expertise? Do you promise to be 5 minutes early? Are you willing to promote the episode? And basically it just gets confirmation that they're going to promote. I'm trying to find the one. I want to find the pre-screen. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is the pre-screening one. It's much more in depth, and it's more about, okay, so I have 6 questions with this one. So what is your expertise? Same stuff, but then will you promote? How big is your following? IG, Facebook group, so on. How can you help our mission of empowering impact-driven entrepreneurs and their message, impact the world? What platform do you have that you could help us get our message out? Podcast, Facebook group, and so on.
Okay.
So yeah, you get these. But what I would, and then so this is the other one, is the discovery call one. Is this one? This one's 8 questions. Are you committed to show up for this call? I might change that to show up early. What's the biggest goal you have for your business? This is basically taking them through the 5-step close. What's the biggest challenge you have in reaching that goal? What are you doing? What are you currently doing that's not working? If I could solve that problem for you on this call, what would it? Or if I could solve one problem on this call, what would it be? For Facebook, average monthly revenue, so I know where they're at. Are you opening investing in business mentorship or having done for you marketing, which is for our agency. So that gets to like a micro commitment to saying like they're interested.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I like it like this too. So when the interview actually comes, like, because before we had it on the type form and it was different, we didn't have the questions necessarily right there. Where this is like right on the calendar. Like literally, you can just scroll down and the details, and it's all right there.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what I like about it. And the micro commitment thing seems to be working a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, I have a list of questions already. They were really similar to the group, but I updated them recently, you know, because when people get to that level, I want them to get asked different questions. Like, I think the last one that you have on there is the most important. Are you willing to invest? Because that gets that commitment of like, yes, I want to invest something.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing you could say is, and you might be able to, you can set that on Calendly where you have to approve people's bookings. And you can say that, you know, not everybody is going to be approved. And that'll set more position for you. Where you can say, we're going to actually be going through everybody that books a call. We're going to look at your application so that you can book a call, and then there's questions after, and we're going to look at the questions, and depending on your answers to the questions is if we're going to actually take the calls.
Okay.
And you can get to the point where you can say, you know, if they're not interested in investing or they just say no to that, then you don't take the call. Another thing, after you get like really big and you have so much influx, you can start taking deposits, which is super strong. You could take $100. It just shows that they're really serious.
All right, that sounds good.
Any questions?
No, I'm good. I think I can see that one thing I think that is going to be really good for this right now is like so many of the people have already built their relationship through the challenge and being in a group. I think if I were to pitch some kind of group coaching package, like just in a post, this is what I wanted to ask you guys about. I had an idea to just make a post like, hey, if I were to have a group coaching program for 8 weeks for just the people who've already went through the challenge, I wanted to post this today after I go live. You know, if I were to have a group coaching for you guys, what would you be willing to invest for that? Like, I wanted to ask that because they're already so tight knit. Like, even outside of the group, I see them communicating about their shows, which is really good. So I think if I were to pitch something like at a group level where everybody paid the same amount and got in at the same time, it would be like a perfect storm. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that's a great idea. I just kind of had that feeling of like
testing the market. It's testing the market. So the one thing I would definitely do, like this program is, how many weeks is it?
90 days.
90 days, which is 12?
12 weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're charging $5K, so how long is your courses going to be?
So all of them together itself, that could be even more than 12 weeks. I could crunch it down and put some stuff together where it's 12 weeks exactly. I could do 12 weeks, like every week have something new for sure.
Okay. So the way that we have it, we're setting it up, or it's about 2/3 of the way done, because we have the launch kit, which is essentially the first month, right? First 4 weeks. Then we have, the accelerator, which is the next 4 weeks, which is the next phase, right? And then we're launching, which is strategic exposure, which is essentially the next phase. And so all of these are going to be separate courses. And then we're going to have mindset stuff and to set your perfect morning, all this stuff. It's going to be interlaid.
We're optimizing.
Yeah, we're optimizing.
This next round. I'm really excited about it.
See, and that's exactly what I want to do is like, instead of Well, not necessarily, not saying I wouldn't pitch the coaching, but I want to ask them like, hey, if I have group coaching, would you be interested? Because the first month we can talk about launching or relaunching your show. The next one is about how to promote it and how to grow it. And then last 4 weeks is how to monetize, because at that point, everybody be ready to sponsor. So it really, like I said, a perfect storm. It's just, I want to see what they'll be willing to invest and if they would be interested. So I'm going to just test the waters a little bit and see where everybody's mind is at on that one. I think I'll get some good responses.
I really like that. If you really start from the beginning and you do your launch one, and then the next month you do your
promo, like how to market the show, basically.
Promo, and then the how to get sponsors and everything, and then other ways like affiliates or get promoting.
Yeah. So I would do it. I would really break it down, like kind of like how you guys did, where it's really, really clear. So in the first month, it's about launching or relaunching, getting the foundation right and all that stuff. Second month is about how to market on different platforms, like be everywhere at once, really easy. And the last month is how you make money in all of these different ways.
Right. I really like that too. And one of the distinctions you really have to make with them is there's a difference between the course, and that'll be Q&A. Interactions where we're going to answer questions. There's going to be like 15 minutes at the end or so. Coaching, right? So coaching is where I'm going to be on with you in a group setting that's going to be separate than the course facilitating. And it's going to be walking through your, like, what's going on, where's the challenges you're having in your show, why are you not top 200 yet, like holding accountability, all of those things. You're hand-holding people through the process.
Okay. So with that being said, so today I should ask that question, see where they're at, what their interest is. Would you say that I should still do the phone call system and pitch that to people, or
what you want to do, what I would do if I was you, is I would get on, do the 5-step thing, ask for permission to see, like, for you to help them, like, do you want my help with that? Like, really doing, like, whatever their biggest thing is, right? And then say, all right, this is what I got. I have a 90-day program, and it comes with 90-day program. It's a group coaching and some one-on-ones. You're going to get some one-on-ones, however much you want to give. And then you're going to have a group coaching program where we're going to be there to hold you accountable to relaunch your show, or launch your show, depending on where they're at, and promote your show, how to get it out there and really get up to that top 200. And then how to monetize. That's the third phase.
Perfect.
So after 90 days, you have a top 200 show in your field that is fully monetized to where you're lead genning for whatever your business is, plus you're getting paid from sponsors if you choose to, plus you could do affiliates and get paid that way and have income streams that way, plus you're having blah, blah, and these experts that you're getting credibility from and all this stuff. So you just take all the benefits that they're looking for and why they want a podcast. You come through, and this is the result you're going to get on the other side. You're the portal, right? Or the door. This coaching program is the door to what your vision is with your podcast. So what's your vision for your podcast? Well, it's to be top 200 in personal development and have all kinds of amazing speakers. I want I was thinking Bob Proctor, but Bob Barker came up. I don't think you can have him anymore.
Yeah.
The price is wrong. So that is the, my vision for the podcast. And then they'll say, well, what's the challenge that you have? Or you'll say, like, what's the challenge you're having, like, really doing that? And they'll say, whatever, like, got it. And so why me? Right? So we 5-step close, right? Why now? Why are you doing this now? Yeah, why me? Why are we here? Why are we on this call? And then, cool. That's awesome. Do you want my help with that vision? Yes. Okay. Do you want to see what? And getting them to say yes along the route. Every time, get them to say yes. Get them to say, if you say 7 yes, if you can get somebody to say 7 yeses, it's really hard for them to say no when you offer money or ask them to buy it then.
All right, that sounds good. I think that's ideal. That's what I'm comfortable doing.
Both of you guys write that down. 7 yeses.
I've always heard
7 yeses equal money.
Yep. So, but yeah, so anyways, and then you just walk them through how your program can get them to then just tie it back to their vision and tie it back to how it's overcoming those limiting things, the things that are in their way and how it can help them. And then be like, do you want to know how much it is? Yes, I do. Another yes. Okay, cool. So this is actually something that's crazy. I think it's, I think Russell, I learned this from Russell, is that you throw out some crazy number. Like, well, it's not $1 million and it's not $500,000 and it's not $100,000. There's going to be a day here soon that it probably will be $12,000, but it isn't right now. It's only $6,000 if you pay in 3 payments of $2,000, or you could pay all up front and it's $5,000, right? And then you just wait and see what they say, and they go, wow. Like, and then you can, if they don't say anything, you can just say, sound good? Sounds good?
And then shut the front door.
Exactly. And just be quiet, and they say, yes, it does sound, okay, great. I'll send you over the agreement, and you can send over the money through bank transfer or whatever.
All right, that sounds good.
And then and then you can say, and then as you're saying, wait, there's more. And you say you're also going to get 3 courses if you take action in the next 48 hours. You're good. Or no, you can give them the courses anyways. You say, wait, there's more. So you're going to also get these 3 courses. You're going to get the launch. So it's a digital course. You're going to go with me, and there's going to be also a Q&A. So you're going to get that as a bonus for getting started. Right?
Yeah, I still got a ton of webinars and stuff I did that'll be perfect to give away. I made that stuff just to give away.
This is the foundation.
No, he's talking about like the bonuses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, webinars that he did before that had too much training and not enough stories pre-Chad and Holly that he can repurpose and use for
that's good.
Yes.
Yeah. So and then you just be like, okay, so there's a time thing on this, and you like, if we can get your payment and your agreement taken care of in the next 48 hours, you're also going to get these one-on-ones. So not only are you going to get this group, so you pitch it as a group situation. And you're like, we're going to do one-on-one with you to get you launched no matter what, right? No matter when you get started. But you're also going to get like 1 a month, right? Or 2 a month, or whatever you want to do.
I think for this, I would probably do, from my experience now, 2 one-on-ones a month are what's necessary for success. Like, it has to be at least 2 of those, because the instruction is good to get like the surface level info, but that one-on-one stuff is where we can really take the lead. And I'm learning more about what podcast coaching can be, where it is, even what it's worth, what people are willing to pay for it. Because after talking to over 50 people now, I can see what people are willing to pay and what people aren't willing to pay. And I think it's one thing when you price yourself too low, but if the market is telling you like, hey, this is just not worth it, then it's like, okay, at some point you got to kind of restructure things. I've had enough conversations now where it's enough data to see, okay, some of this might be a little overpriced just from what the market is telling me. Because again, it's like I think podcasting is still so new to people overall that the idea of a podcast coach is just insane. And so even explaining the value, they still just don't really understand. And I think where I'm at now in business, I still need 10 more clients first before we get to that. Okay, well, I don't think I'd have to have that, but I know that I need something else to prove to the people like, hey, this is extremely valuable for business. Like they know it a little bit, but they aren't all the way there just yet. You know what I mean? Like some people who don't know about coaching, if you told them what your coaching prices were, they'll be like, what?
Anybody out there charging big money for podcast coaching?
Yes. I know there is. Ryan Helm, the guy Zach Barbook or whatever, he has the Underdog show. He just put in Dan Henry. He has a thing. There's big money.
Do you know how much he charges?
I don't know the exact number. No,
You think it's over 5?
I think it's probably around 5.
5. Oh.
It's a pretty typical coaching number for a 90-day program.
Mm-hmm.
It's not outrageous at all. I think any lower, I said something yesterday that one of our interviewers he laughed at. It's like the using trash bag, like to chintz out on things. The one thing you don't want to chintz out on is a coach. It's like in comparison, it's kind of like going to buy trash bags and buying the cheapest one. You buy the cheapest one, what happens? It rips. You can't hold it. It's horrible. Like the one thing I'll never ever buy the cheapest thing of is trash bags. It's like
that's a good story right there.
Yeah. And it's the same with coaching, right? That's someone that's, you have the value and you're giving them the results. It's going to far exceed what they're able to pay or what they're paying.
Chris, I think what you've done, you've had a lot of conversations with people that had no clue who the fuck you were and never seen any of your results and never saw like anything. And that is a different conversation than the people that have gone through your process. They've gone through your challenge. They've been engaged. They've got it scheduled. They've filled out an application to get on the phone with you. And now they're like really excited to talk to you. There's a difference between that conversation and the conversations you have been having.
Okay. And so just to be clear, I know we said the one-on-one is at 5 or 2 per month. So
it's really you, and you just want to give them extra more for taking care of it in the next 24 or 48 hours.
Oh no, I get that part. I'm saying like, so what we talked about last time we broke it down, it will be 5 altogether or 2 per month for the one-on-one. So for your groups, how do you break that part down? Not a course, but like group consistent coaching all the way through.
Yeah. So ours is 2 days a week. And it's through for the 90 days. So you could have one time a week and have it and just be there. Right. The only reason we added 2 is because we do so much transformational stuff and we wanted more time with you guys and we wanted to do less one-on-one stuff. So you just add more group stuff.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask the group. I want to see what they say and see what the engagement is on it, and see what their responses are. But I know I'll get at least 5 right now. I'm really confident in 5, but I want to obviously get everybody. The goal is 10, like 10 solid people, especially in the group. I think that's like for my first. Me running it by myself, group coaching, I would want it to be 10. Like that's ideal. I don't really going over will be cool, but 10 is like perfect. Because again, with the one, I want to add in 2 one-on-ones per month per person because I know they have to have that to really like actually get the results. So I think once per week with 2 one-on-ones and all the extra bonuses and access to all of the content and all that stuff is like perfect.
Cool.
Sweet.
See how it goes for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, man. We appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. Keep us posted on what happens.
Yes, please do.
All right, Fridays you should be getting one of those boom messages in the group.
Yes. Let's do it.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Guys.